I worship you. I worship you. You are here, working in this place. I worship you. I worship you. You are here. You are here, moving in our midst. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, working in this place. I worship you. I worship you. And you are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are here, touching every heart. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, healing every heart. I worship you, Jesus. I worship you. You are here, turning lives around. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, mending every heart. I worship you. I worship you. And you are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. And you are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. That is, and that is who you are. 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 You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. And you are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. And 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 that is who you are.
All right, well, thanks for tuning in. And we just heard a beautiful song called Waymaker. And I'm here with some of the leaders from our worship team. Of course, we have Landon here with us. We have Joe with us. And then you just heard Chardin singing that song. And so what are your guys' thoughts with this song?
This song, once I heard it, it was on constant replay. And basically, it's kind of like an anthem for me. When I heard it, I was just like, yes. And then the more I listened to it, I was like, yes, God, you are the waymaker. You're still in the miracle working business, God. It's not just for the past, it's for the now.
Right.
And so basically, listening to that song every day encouraged me, especially not driving to traffic on the way to work. I have that time to just spend with him.
Right.
And it gets me hyped. Like, God is just awesome.
Right. I love that too, right? You can turn your car into a sanctuary.
Oh, yeah.
Where you're just worshiping, and then you realize,
Sometimes it's
It's not
the
really
quiet.
quiet, but you know.
wait, you're right.
So actually, too, the version that we just did was Leland's version, right? And that's probably the newest version of it. And actually, the song came out, I want to say a couple years ago. And I don't know if this is how you say her name, but this lady is Sinak,
Sinak?
something like that. She sings it. And I remember last year sometime Delilah was like, hey, you folks should do this song. And I was like, who sings it? But she actually told me that it was Michael W. Smith, did like a cover of it too. And so I was like, oh, I'll go and listen to it. And like, it didn't connect with me. And I didn't know about Sinak till just maybe a couple of months ago. But then last month or the month before, Leland's like, here's this new song. And everyone's like, this song is great.
Right.
Like, well, this song is so old, but only now everyone's just like, but I think it just, the way that he did it just brought such a new light to the song because
Yeah.
It was,
lyrically
like,
it's
more
great.
Intimate,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, the lyrics are awesome on it. It really is an anthem song.
It is.
The way the lyrics are talking about God being a way maker, a miracle maker. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It's funny because we all have like our different ways of how we heard the song and everything. I knew about the song for a while, but it was only at the conference, this past youth conference, at the first practice we had together. Bino and actually you jumped in like right with him. You guys started singing that chorus, and I was sitting back there and I was like, this song is nuts. Like, what song is this? And then you're like, oh yeah, that's Waymaker. It's like, oh, really? And I started listening to it a lot, like on repeat. And it's still on repeat for me. And listening to all the lyrics, I think the most amazing part of it is that it doesn't focus just on one part of who God is. Yeah, no, it says He's a Waymaker, He's a miracle worker, He's a promise keeper, and it's such a wide spectrum of just a little bit of who God is. And then the chorus proclaims who He is, and the verses are like talking about, you know, you are here in the midst, you are always here, and all these kind of things. And it's such an amazing song. It's a declaration, it's a prayer, and it's really, when you pray about this every single day, it becomes your lifestyle of having your safety and your security in God, knowing that He is, you know, the way maker. He's going to make a way for you in every situation and all these kind of things. And this song it's amazing. Yeah. Beautifully written. The lyrics go hard.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. Yeah.
Yeah, the lyrics are awesome. Like, out of the newer songs we do, lyrically, this is one of my favorite. Because like you're saying, I love how we're just declaring who God is. And like sometimes in life, you know, life can be hard and we face different circumstances, whatever it might be, financial challenge with a relationship. And sometimes for me, it's a tendency that I'll focus on that and I become discouraged. But when I sing about who God is, that He's a miracle worker, a way maker, that even when there's no way, it seems like He can still make a way.
Yeah.
That just, it builds hope and confidence for the future. And I feel like this song does that. Wherever you're at, you can sing it, just declaring who God is.
Yeah.
And knowing that whatever situation or challenge you're facing, He's a way maker through that. And so I love that.
Yeah, there's another part in Leland's version. It's the refrain part, and it goes soft to like a worship moment, and then he tells the congregation, sing this with me, and it says, even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. And when you're going through stuff, so personally, I've kind of been going through my own things. We all do, but when you're low and you're down, it's best to listen to something very uplifting, and knowing that, hearing him say that and having it on repeat, it's like I had to keep saying it, God, you're working. Because sometimes when we're in our own trials, of course we're not going to see the end of it, but we know it's already won and it's already done, but we have to walk through it. And God's working through it, and we just have to remember.
Right.
So hearing that over and over, I was just like, oh, that hit me.
Yeah.
That hit me hard, and I was like, God, you're good.
Yes.
Yeah, that's really true. That even when I don't see it, you're working. And because we all go off of basic understanding, you know, like if we don't see something, how are we going to believe? You know, like that's just how human nature is. So when we, you know, believe in a God that we physically cannot see, it goes against all of our human instincts.
Right.
So in a song like this, when it says, even when I don't see it, you're working, not only physically, but maybe we don't see what God is doing. We don't see anything happening. Maybe we only see the trials. But like you said, having that faith that it's already won.
Right.
Yeah. No, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And it makes me think of too, like, Pastor Leonard always uses that bamboo analogy, right? Where like it grows 5 feet or whatever it is,
Right.
and then it just stops growing.
Right.
But then the thing is, like, we don't see what's going on underneath everything, where the roots are going down deeper. And after like a certain amount of time, that thing just shoots up to like 50, 60, or whatever it is,
Right.
And it's just, I think a lot of times because we don't see things, in the physical or with our eyes, we have a hard time to believe something. So when we declare that, even when I don't see it, you're working, like thinking about those roots just going deeper and
Right.
just those things getting bigger. And,
Yeah.
that's what God is doing. God is doing all that undercover work, and he's just making, you just got to trust that he's doing it and just know that he's doing it. And eventually you'll see the fruit of it. It's just that you got to be patient, and in God's
Right.
time it's there.
Right. And it's great too is to bring back to memory his faithfulness in the past. And it's like when you first get saved, he shows himself faithful in little ways, and you bring those things back to memory. It's like I remember a time when I was in Bible school and I still had this keychain from before I was saved, and it was like a bud leaf was on it or something that a Christian wouldn't have, but it's my only keychain. And so I felt convicted. Here I am studying God's weird word with the pot leaf. So I prayed, God, I'm gonna surrender this keychain to you. And I'm a broke Bible school student. I may lose my keys. I don't know what's gonna happen. I made this big thing out of it. I threw it in the trash. And it was about a few days later on Sunday, this lady in the church came to me with a new keychain that said something like, our God is an awesome God or something. But I looked at the receipt in the bag, she left it in there, and the date and the time was like right around that time that I was praying. Wow. And so here I am like dedicating this to the Lord and not knowing the whole time he's working behind the scenes when I don't notice it. And if he cares about a keychain,
Right.
how much more for the big things we go through.
Exactly.
We don't always see it, but he's working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what that reminds me of is there's a message that Pastor Evan shared a while ago, and he shared it over here, and he was bringing up the song "Do It Again" by Elevation Worship, and he mentioned how in the song "Do It Again," like of course the bridge is this is the part that everybody knows. It's the I've seen you move the mountains, and I believe that you would do it again. And like when you're in the moment and you're proclaiming that, it's not only is it your declaration, but if you take a moment to sit back and think about what they're saying, it's like what you're saying, like seeing how he has gone through before, but using that is almost like it's like his promise. He's like, I've done it in this situation, I've done it here,
Right.
and then look at all these other testimonies that you hear of all these other people going through such harsh and tragic things. Like if I'll do that for them in the highs and the lows, what makes you think that I won't come back and reign victorious in your life again?
Right.
Because in the moment when you're going through something, you may not see the end,
Yeah.
but God is over there, and like you said, he's already won.
Right.
He's already victorious. But when we look at that past promises of him coming through like that, it's like, I would do it again. And that goes back to this song of who he is and having that faith in all these areas of life and all these areas of who God is.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's real faith too. When you're in it, you're believing for the right outcome, but even having the faith that God, whatever the outcome is, whatever your outcome is, because sometimes we want, Lord, this is what I want you to
Right.
do. But sometimes it's like, God, you have what's best in store.
Yeah.
And so even through this, there might be something you're doing inside of me to prepare me for what you have next. And
Definitely.
yeah.
That's real funny because sometimes it's like we put an expectation on God. It's like, I want you to bring me through this, but I want you to bring me through this with this outcome.
Right.
Right.
It's like you have to meet this expectation. It's
Right.
like, you're talking to God.
Right.
It's like, and you have to have, here comes the faith again. You have to have that faith that no matter the outcome, that's what God wants for your life. And there's always something that we may not understand, but it's fully trusting that God is really going to do something amazing that you may not see.
For our
Right.
best.
Exactly. It's always for our
Right.
best. It always is.
Yeah. I don't, just like no one likes a backseat driver. So I'm pretty sure God's like, we sing
Right,
that song,
yeah.
Jesus, take the wheel.
Right.
It's like, hey, turn here.
Yeah.
Or go this way.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you gave me the reins, let me
Let
drive.
go.
Right.
And I think
Yeah.
that's what we just gotta let go
Yeah.
and let God.
Right.
let
You're
God
saying
do
I'm
it.
the way maker, so let me make the way.
Getting you ready for something.
Don't tell me where to go.
coming.
Yeah.
Let go.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
So true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, even like in today's message we heard, Pastor Lauren was talking about the guy at the gate as
Right.
they were going into the temple. And what he was expecting from the Lord was gold and silver, right? But he got something far better, which was his healing.
Right.
And so, if God always met our expectations, he wouldn't have a chance to exceed them.
Exactly.
So sometimes he's like, this is what you want, but I got something a lot better in store. And that's why I love this song too, singing about who God is, because sometimes we can worship God for what he'll do.
Yeah.
God, I want you to do this, and I'll worship you because you do this. But this song is really, God, this is who you are.
Yeah.
And because of who you are, I'm good with whatever happens in the future. Your heart's for me. You want the best for
Exactly.
me. And because of who you are, not because of what you do only,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
And that-
because of who you
That's
are.
I like that this song and the other songs that we've been taking into consideration and bringing in, we're trying to change the gimme, gimme, gimme to the I'm just going to praise you with all that's
Yeah.
within me for who you are.
Right,
Of course, for what you've done, but it's for who you are, God.
right,
Nothing else but you is all I want,
right.
Yeah, it's actually kind of funny because we went through stages of the songs that we were bringing in. For a moment it was like you said, it was a gimme, gimme,
Gimme,
and then it
gimme.
was like we need you or nothing without you. And now it's like we're in a different phase of just praising him for who he is, proclaiming who he is.
Right.
All these different seasons kind of reflects that. It's
It
amazing.
does, yeah.
And you can actually see that too, like if you look at worship music now, or just like as of recently, like how it's the narrative has changed, or like the way that they're saying things, or even just the proclamations that they're making.
Right.
Right.
And it's so. I'm not. It's not that we're trying to keep up with the times or anything, but I think just in ourselves too, we have gotten to that place where it's like it's not just about what you can do for me, God, but
Right.
you are God, and I want to acknowledge that, and I want to acknowledge you because you are worthy of it all. And so we're just going to praise you because you are, we're
Right.
saying all these things, waymaker, and miracle
It's
worker.
also amazing the breakthrough that comes with you throwing away your shopping list.
Yeah.
And you're just here in the presence, and everything, God's going to do it. He's going to take the reins from there, and everything's just going to start crumbling down that we've put up, and all that breakthrough that starts happening when you start declaring who God is. And
Right.
That's. I'm excited to bring a Waymaker.
Yeah.
I really am.
Very, very excited. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's on the 30th. Yeah, that's the first. And you're gonna be drumming that day.
I'm drumming, yeah.
Yeah, you are.
He's ready.
Now I got more purpose in me. Man. Yeah.
That's good.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so we're excited for this new song, Waymaker, and hope you guys are able to be here at service to check it out. Of course, you could always keep tuning into our podcast through the different forms that it's available. But we thank you for tuning into this one.
Awesome.
God bless you, and we'll see you next time.
Love ya.